everybody. So I was supposed to get on here yesterday and give everybody an update and all this lovely stuff. Y'all, life be lifing sometimes. Like, there was a birthday party I was supposed to take my kids to yesterday. I forgot all about it. And I was late because I was trying to get orders out yesterday. And tell me why they live right next door and I was still an hour late. I don't want to send my kids over there. They were like, oh, you could have just sent your kids over so they can come play. When I go, I'm gonna bring my kids and I'm gonna bring myself and all that lovely stuff. So I hate it that I was late, but it is what it is, right? All that we can do is wake up and do our very best every day. And that's what I did. And then when I came home, we were done with that. I attempted to come back here, but we had family over. And so by the end of the night, I was just tired. And then I ended up waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, fell asleep on the couch. So it is what it is. But today I'm going to be doing a couple of different videos for y'all. So right now we're going to go ahead and do the update on where have I been, right? So 11 years, a long time. Ended up, my husband had to go like 4 hours away from where we're at now to go to work. So I moved up there and we were in my brother-in-law's house because they had left and moved to a different state. And so we were staying in his house and I started teaching up there. When I say I love teaching, like that was like my favorite job. And everybody was just like, you're not getting paid as much. It's like when you're in the when you're working in the hospital. And I was just like, yeah, I know. But that is driving me crazy, that one little piece. But my hair, it's time to take it down, yeah. And I'm just being lazy and I don't have time. And it's so tender, so I don't feel like pulling on it too much. There we go. Because that was driving me insane. But anyways, you don't make as much money as you do like when you're in the hospital. But when I say that job was amazing, like just watching people's faces light up because you're pouring into them everything that you know plus a little bit more, right? You're pulling from everywhere you know to pull. When people just don't understand, you come up with the most elaborate ways to explain stuff to them. And then when you see that aha moment come across their face, it's beautiful. I love it. But I moved up there and I taught respiratory therapy school for a while. And then that school ended up closing. And so my husband ended up getting another job in Mississippi. And so we moved over there for a while. And it was lovely because by then I was now a stay-at-home mommy. I had just had my first son and earlier that year, and then maybe he might have been like 5 months when I actually moved him. Like my husband went ahead of us, and then I had to find us somewhere to stay because he was in training and all this stuff. And so we didn't even bring everything. Whatever I could put in the car with me and baby, that's what we brought over to Mississippi. And so every now and then we just go back and pick up little stuff here and there. And so we went, like I said, to Mississippi. I was a stay-at-home mom, but like partially every 6 weeks, I would have to go back to where the other house is at. There's a hospital there that I worked at. And so I was PRN, which means I just had to work, whenever. But per policy, per the facility that I was working at, you have to work at least 3 days every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks, I would go and stay for a weekend, and I would work Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. And my sister would watch my baby for me. And so, and I worked night shift, and it was fine. And so that worked out for a while, and then, COVID hit, and I decided to, it was really hard. Like I was really torn when COVID hit of like, people are dying. I know how to work the ventilators that they are in need of. And I'm sitting at home not doing anything. and I really wanted to go to New York, but I refused to go somewhere and I don't have my family with me. But when COVID hit, I had another baby, and I think my baby boy had COVID in like November. I think it was November. And then that's when it came out in like March, everything was shutting down. And December, I had baby girl. And so, um, in March, my husband's job shut down. Thankfully, he still got paid and all that stuff, but they kind of shut down because of COVID. And so, I was just like, I've been sitting at home and I'm like, hey, I feel bad that, you know, people are in need and they're like really calling for people to New York. I'm not gonna put my family on no plane, especially no babies, to go to New York to help. Like, I want to help, but I'm not gonna leave them. And then I'm breastfeeding. And so I'm like, mm-mm. And so when people started calling, like recruiters were calling, because I used to travel before I had kids. I would go and do strikes. I would go and do just travel contracts, different places. And so they were like, hey, can you go to Louisiana? And I was just like, I don't have the mask. Like, I was talking to the guy about the mask or whatever. And I was like, well, wait a second. My husband, we had just bought like another property. And so he was telling me about the mask, and it was basically like a respirator for when you paint. And my husband was like, wait, I had one of those. And the guy was like, look, I will mail you the filters. Like, my mom had got me this. I don't need it because I'm working from home. Like, when I say this recruiter was like so dedicated, and then like he understood where I was coming from because of my kids and all that. And so we went to Louisiana. Well, I went first, found a place for everybody to come. But still paying, you know, stuff back where we were from. And so everybody just, my husband got the kids in and came. And like I said, I'm breastfeeding still during this time. So I had enough milk stored up to be gone from them for a few days. And so he had to bring, you know, everybody down to me, found a place for us to stay and all that good stuff. And so we were in Louisiana for a while. And then after like a month or two, I was doing like 2 contracts consecutively. And so after I was done with those, there was a contract in Maryland. And so we drove to Maryland because, again, I am refusing to put my kids around people. The way I was staying safe, and it was so hard, but I was just like, it's so worth it, especially when you're seeing people so sick in the hospital. Was I would put on my mask, all my protective gear, and I would go into the hospital, and if it was time to eat lunch and I was hungry and I was going to eat, I would not eat inside. Like, people would still be going in the break rooms, taking off their masks, being around other people. No, I see y'all later. Like, I'm clocking completely out. I'm going outside. And then I would go outside and sit somewhere, like, not around somebody, or I would go back to my car and sit and eat my food. And by the end of the day, you had this marks all on your face. And it's sad when you're having to, I think what really got me was when you're having to hold somebody's hand who's dying and they're on a iPad or something, trying to talk to their family, right? And you know, everybody's scared. And so that was the part that kind of got me. And I know it got a whole lot of healthcare workers, nurses, and therapists and doctors, because I saw the backside of it. So that was a eye opener, as well as like people are here and then they're gone, right? Like, cherish the people that are in your life. And so a lot of people, I think, got that message because so many people wanted to, my nose is shiny, there we go. So many people wanted to do stay-at-home jobs after that, right? Like, let me be around my kids. They saw how important family was, to where they could still do a lot of their jobs and be at home. and then you're able to get more done. Like, it's more of a well balanced lifestyle to me, because being at home, because I was working at home after all this. I was working from home, and when all the travel contracts were done and my kids had to actually, they were old enough to start going to school and stuff, we finished up in Maryland and came back here. I did some more contracts, and then when my kids had to actually go to school, that's when I went ahead and I was like, okay, let me find something I can work from home. And so it was good, because at first, or initially, my boss was like, it's fine if you have to run and get your kids. I understand, I have kids, and I would have my computer. I bought like a little desk to go inside my car, so I'll be working inside my car, going to get my kids, answering phone calls, doing whatever I had to do to make it work, right? Because my husband still not working in the state that we're living in. He's working in a different state, so he's only home a couple of days out the week. And then, it's just mommy holding everything down. So mommy has to be able to be mobile to go and do this and go to class parties and everything else that we have to do, right? And so me being able to balance all that and be able to show up for my kids to where it's like they're lighting up and they're happy, like other moms are here, you're here too, and just being present, and very much so, especially with my son and my daughter, at their schools. Like my son's school, all the principals know me. They have different principals throughout the school. Like the teachers know me. Whoever my son's teacher is for the year very much knows me. I'm going to be all up in your classroom. If something's going on with his school stuff, I need to know about it. Like, before it becomes a problem, we're finna fix it, right? If he needs extra work on this or extra work on that, or he needs help with organizational skills, whatever it is, like, we're a team. Like, I need you to know that whatever you have going on, if it's reasonable, and I can kind of pretty much judge the teachers that he's had. And then the good thing about it, with him going to a private school, we can pick his teachers. And I always ask the teacher that he's currently in the class with, hey, who do I need to get next year for him? Like, his personality, what's gonna work well with him and me. And they tell me, or I go to a principal and be like, hey, like, us, who do I need to go to? And it works. And so that life and work balance works well when you're working from home, because you can't do that stuff when you're in the hospital for 12-hour shifts, right? Or if you're at a job and you're 30 minutes away from your kid's school and you have to work 8 hours. That's not going to work. And especially with me being, hey girl, what you got in your mouth? Get to mama. Get to mama. Thank you. So that's something else we're going to have to talk about in another video, y'all. Pica. So, of course, she's 6 now, but she wants to put everything in her mouth. She will get paper. She will get anything that she thinks she can possibly chew and put in her mouth to swallow. So that drives me insane. But just being able to have that balance was so important. And then when she started school, I have heard so many horror stories of kids getting hit or whatever at school, and she's classified as nonverbal because she cannot have a conversation with you. And so I wanted to make sure, because if something happened at school, she can't come home and say, oh, mommy, the teacher was mean to me. The teacher yelled at me. The teacher did this, or I had to go to the bathroom and they didn't take me to the bathroom. Like, she can't tell me any of that. So me being available and the teachers knowing she is available if something happens, call her, she's coming. Or, hey, what was the update for today? Like, that was so important to me, to be able to let them know that I am here. I am very much present. You're not going to do her any type of way. And I always tell them, she's getting a diploma. Like, you don't give her no certificate. She didn't pass school. We're not doing that. Like, we need to come up with a plan thing for me. And then also I was just like, am I going to have to switch and be a at-home learning for her? Like, do homeschool. I couldn't think of it. So am I gonna have to actually switch to homeschool? How's that gonna work? Like, what is that actually gonna look like for me if I even had to do it? Sorry, I had to move my camera stand, but I didn't know what that would even look like if that's something I was gonna do. I do have a master's degree in early childhood education, and then when I was taking it, I wanted to learn sign language. So I actually got my sign language degree before I got my master's in early childhood education, and then I was just like, okay, what else can I do? And it was the next thing is a doctorate. And so I was just like, now what? Oh, no. Sit down. No jump. No jump. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, no. Sit down. Thank you. Do later on. With the sign language, it helps because I've taught her and my son some sign language. I need to actually pick it back up and do better at that, of teaching them more sign language. And it's just me remembering a lot of the stuff as well, because I stopped using it as much. When I was working in the hospital all the time, I used to have like deaf patients that would come in and I would use it with them, and then I stopped because I wasn't having deaf patients anymore. And I didn't actually go and get my license and just like continue to do it. And I wish I would have, because that's something I could be doing at home right now, right? So I went and got my my master's, and then I went ahead and got my doctorate of business administration and healthcare administration, because I was just like, I'm tired of being on the floor. I want to get towards more in the business side. Now, mind you, I love being a respiratory therapist. I am more of a give me ICU patients, like give me patients on ventilators. That's what I love. I love that. And so I wanted something different. I wanted something to where I didn't have to work 12-hour shifts. And that way, and again, you know, when I started this, it was before I even had kids, before we even moved. And I just had to, I was trying to think of something to do that was still in the hospital, and because that's where I was comfortable at, really. And so we know growth is nothing but somewhere that's outside of where, you know, your comfort zone. And so that is pretty much it for like this week. It's just getting caught up of kind of where I am at now. Like, so basically we moved, started teaching, found out I love teaching, moved from there, went somewhere else because of my husband's job. And then we hopped around because of COVID, and I was doing different contract jobs. And that's another thing, like having my husband being able to switch those roles was, I actually like, because he saw, like, you just don't sit at home with them. Like, I was actually doing stuff with them, taking them to the park, like trying to teach them stuff. And so, I wasn't just sitting at home with them. And so him now staying at home with them, and then baby girl all over the place. Now you got 2 kids. He kind of understood. She's hitting the table. Let the cameras on. He kind of understood more of where I was coming from. I'm taking care of the kids, and that it's a whole job, and it's busy and all that good stuff. So yeah, so more to come on where I'm at now, and kind of updates and my interesting, okay, hold on, okay, and more stuff of my pregnancies. That was just a whole nother story. But I will be getting back with you all soon. I'm having to do something on the iPad for baby girl right now. But next video, I will have a better mic, y'all. Because I didn't know I sounded that muffled. But I bought a mic. So video sound quality should be better. But we're about to see, because we're about to test this bad boy out and see what we're going to have going on. Okay? All right, I'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.